99% of people think they understand AI. They don't. Everyone has access to the same tools, same ChatGPT, same Claude, same everything. Yet some people are replacing entire workflows, while others are still just using it to write emails faster. Same inputs, opposite outcomes. I have built and scaled businesses for over 2 decades. And I've seen this exact pattern every time a real shift happens, whether it was the internet, smartphones, or Bitcoin. And every time the people who moved early didn't look smarter, they just moved differently. That's what AI is right now. In this video, I'll break down 3 levels of AI. Speed, delegation, and orchestration, where most people get stuck and how the next group is pulling ahead. And you can already see this playing out. Most people think they're getting ahead because they switched tools. They didn't. They moved from ChatGPT to Claude. They started using Perplexity for research. Maybe tried Gemini for docs or slides. Some even tests Grok for quick answers. It feels like you're upgrading, but you're not. Look at BlackBerry and Apple. Same technology shift, one dominated, one disappeared. Or Vine and TikTok. Same format, same moment, completely different outcome. It was never about access. It was about how it was used. That's exactly what's happening with AI. Right now, you're probably doing things like this. Open ChatGPT to write an email, jump into Claude to clean it up or expand it, or Perplexity to pull better research. And if it's visual, you might use something like Nano Banana to generate assets. Maybe Gemini to organize all of this into something presentable. And to be fair, it does help. You get through emails quicker, research takes less time, and overall, you're moving faster. But notice what didn't change. You're still the one doing everything. You're the one deciding every step. You're the one moving between tools. You're the one stitching it all together. And this is where the frustration starts to creep in. Every week, there's a new AI tool. You spend time learning it, sometimes even paying for it. And then you hear about tools like OpenClaw or Claude Cowork that can handle a lot of that in just one flow. Now you're not just doing the work, you're constantly trying to keep up with the tools too. And that's the shift most people miss. Because despite all this, nothing about your role actually changed. You're still doing most of the work. AI didn't take over anything. It just made you faster at doing it. And that's where people get it wrong. Because this feels like leverage. It's not. It's the same role, just moving quicker. And that's exactly why this level traps people. They spend months switching between ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, trying to get better outputs without realizing nothing fundamental changed. They didn't build a system. They didn't remove themselves from the work. They just became a more efficient worker. And history is very clear on how this ends. BlackBerry didn't lose because they didn't have the tech. They lost because they stayed in the same role while the game changed. Same thing here. If you stay at this level, you don't fall behind slowly. You get replaced by someone who stopped doing the work altogether. And it feels like progress right up until the moment it isn't. Because what comes next doesn't just make you faster. It changes what you're actually responsible for. Up to this point, AI is still helping you do the work. What happens next is different. This is where the role actually shifts. Right now, you're probably bouncing between ChatGPT and Claude, opening tabs, writing prompts, fixing outputs, stitching everything together. At level 2, that stops. You don't ask AI to help you do the work anymore. You tell it what needs to get done, and it figures out how to get there. And it figures out the steps, runs them, and brings something back. Not pieces, something usable. Let me show you what that actually looks like. There's a new class of tools now like Perplexity Computer. It's not just one model answering you. It's orchestrating a whole stack of models behind the scenes, routing different parts of their task to the right system. You don't see that part. You just see the output. So instead of doing this, opening ChatGPT, then Claude, then Perplexity, then back again, trying to piece things together, you do this once. You open Perplexity Computer and say, evaluate the fitness gym market in Orange County, California. Tell me if it's worth entering, who dominates it, where are the gaps, and how to position myself to win. I want a full internal report for myself, a separate version I can show to investors, and a clean slide deck breaking it all down. Then you step away. Behind the scenes, it breaks that into parts. One system looks at the market size and trends. Another maps competitors and pricing. Another scans risks, and positioning. Another turns into something an investor would understand. Another builds the deck. You come back and instead of 10 tabs and half-finished notes, you have something you can actually use. Not perfect, but it's real enough that you can actually use it. And that doesn't just apply to business. Think about how most people start their day. They open their inbox, check their calendar, scroll through messages, and react to whatever feels urgent. Level 2 flips that. You give Perplexity computer one instruction. Act as my personal operations system. Recognize my calendar for the next week based on priorities and deadlines. Triage my emails, draft responses for everything important, and summarize the rest. Remove or flag low-value tasks. Plan any upcoming travel, and tell me what I should focus on today. You don't have to sit there and manage every step. You let it process, and when you come back, your day is already structured. You're not starting from zero anymore. Now compare that to level 1. Level 1, you're still doing everything, just faster. Level 2, you're not doing the work anymore. You're defining the outcome. That's the real shift. You're no longer in the middle of every step. You're deciding what needs to happen, not doing it yourself. And once you understand that, you start to see the same pattern everywhere. Look at how McDonald's scaled. It didn't win because it made better burgers. It won because it built a system where the result didn't depend on the person making it. Same inputs, same process, same output every single time. That's what this level is. Level 1 is you making the burger faster. Level 2 is building the system that makes the burger without you. And this is where most people hesitate. Because now you're not working the way you used to. You're assigning the outcome, checking what comes back, and making adjustments when needed. You still check the output. You still make decisions, but you're not in the middle of every step anymore. And if you can't make that shift, you stay in level 1. You're faster, you're busier, but you're still the bottleneck. Meanwhile, someone with fewer skills but better systems is not producing more than you. And that's where it starts to get uncomfortable. This level doesn't reward effort anymore. It rewards structure. Now you're no longer the worker, you're the operator. And once you see it, it becomes very hard to go back. Because what comes next isn't about tasks at all. It's about what happens when you're no longer in the loop. Even at level 2, you're still involved more than you think. You give a goal, you wait, you review, you adjust. It feels like leverage, but you're still touching every outcome. That's where the next shift happens. This is where orchestration starts to show up. Not just handing off work, but setting direction for something that keeps running, even when you're not thinking about it. This isn't about one tool doing one task anymore. It's about a system that can coordinate multiple agents across different parts of your life or business. A setup like OpenClaw is the closest version of this right now. It doesn't live in one app. It connects across channels like Slack, Telegram, or WhatsApp. It routes tasks between different agents. It keeps context, and it keeps working in the background. So instead of opening something to get one task done, you're interacting with the system that's already running. That changes how work even shows up to you. Instead of saying, go analyze this market, at this level, that system is already watching markets you care about. It's already tracking competitors. It's already filtering signals from noises. And when something actually matters, it surfaces it back to you. Not as raw information, but as something you can act on. The same shift shows up in how you operate day to day. At level 2, you tell a system to organize your day, triage emails, or plan something. At this level, that layer is already in motion. Messages can be filtered before they reach you. Low-value decisions can be handled or prepared. Updates can come to you only when they actually need your attention. So instead of reacting or assigning tasks one by one, you're setting direction. And the system keeps things moving underneath that. And once you see that pattern, you start recognizing it outside of AI. Look at how Amazon operates. It's not one person coordinating millions of orders, warehouses, and deliveries. It's systems coordinating with other systems, constantly adjusting in real time. That's the same idea just applied to your own workflow. Now, here's where it's important to stay grounded. This isn't a perfect system yet. These setups are still early. They're not flawless. They require setup, boundaries, and judgment. But they're already good enough to start changing how work gets done. And because of that, you need to be careful. Systems like OpenClaw can connect across your tools, your messages, and your data. That means they require broad permission to actually be useful, and that comes with real risk. You should not be running always on agents in public channels. You should not give access without understanding what it can see and do. And for most people, this is still early. If you're not comfortable with that level of access and control, it's okay to wait until these tools become more mature. And this is exactly why most people won't move to this level. Level 2 still feels safe. You're still reviewing everything. You're still in control of each step. This level forces a different kind of shift. You're not checking every action anymore. You're trusting a system to handle parts of your workflow without constant input. If you don't make that shift, you stay in a loop. You become very good at managing work, while someone else builds systems that don't need to be managed the same way. And that gap doesn't stay small. It starts to widen. And at some point, you're not just working differently, you're operating on a completely different level. You're no longer the worker. You're no longer the operator. You're the one setting direction, while a system underneath you keeps things moving. By now, you can probably see the pattern: speed, delegation, orchestration. At level 1, you use AI to work faster. At level 2, you stop doing the work and start directing it. At level 3, you step back even further and let systems run what no longer needs your attention. That's the shift. The risk isn't that AI replaces you. The risk is that you stay in the same role while everything around you changes. You don't need to jump to level 3 today, but you do need to recognize where you are and what the next steps looks like. Because the gap between the people using AI as a tool and people using it as a system is only getting wider. And if this changed how you think about AI, go watch this video next. Because what we talked about today is the foundation for that. If you're still doing everything yourself, even with AI, you're still stuck in the same role. That video breaks down how your role needs to evolve so you stop being the bottleneck. And if you don't fix that, it doesn't matter what tools you use, you won't scale. If this shifted something in you, please subscribe. If you want the deeper thinking behind these videos, join the newsletter. That's where I share what doesn't always make it into the final cut. What we covered today isn't about AI getting better. It's about you stepping out of the work and building something that runs without you. Because if your role doesn't evolve, AI doesn't give you leverage. It just makes you faster version of the same bottleneck. I'm Farooq Zafar, the founder of Grit Behind Growth, where we build real businesses with grit, not gimmicks. So let's build something real together.